I don't drink soda.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is 2024 presidential candidate, Ty.
Ty. I like that. I like how you're going with this kind of like personal. You're not going to be big, long, full name. You're not going to be Mr. President. It's just President Ty.
I mean, I reserve the right to pivot on that at any point. But yeah, for now, we're just running with Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Ty for president. It's simple. You know, there's only, to my knowledge, there's just the one Ty running for president. So no real reason to bring last names into this whole thing. Especially mine, I mean, it's a fine last name, but it doesn't necessarily scream America the way potentially we would want it to. So we'll just leave, you know, they'll see it on the ballot, but...
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get this fine-tuned over here because we got some new mic arms and just trying to get everything fine-tuned.
You're trying to get it dialed in.
Trying to get it dialed in. That's all that is. I feel like this also isn't.
This probably should have been taken care of before we started the show.
Well, it was. I thought it was, but then it turned out that I was.
You moved around?
That was the chair.
You moved around?
That was the chair. That was I didn't pass gas in the middle of the show.
Oh, nobody accused you of.
All right. So I think that it was too low, and then I slouched down.
Gotcha.
So like compensate for it, but then I felt like I was hunched over, and that's always a problem when I make the thumbnails. That you're too tall, I'm too short.
Yep.
So, you know, it's usually not a problem. I'm 6'3", but you at a towering 6'7". What are you?
Yeah, something around there. I mean, if you're 6'3", then that checks out.
Yeah,
maybe 6'6".
Yeah, 6'6", something like that. So you're a little bit taller than me.
Very tall man. Yeah.
Most of my height is in my legs, whereas most of your height is in your torso. So when we sit down, the height, it fluctuates even more.
Sure.
So I think this is going to be good. Sorry, I really should have taken care of that.
No, you're good. I think everybody can wait.
All right, Jerry, we're going to run it back. So they're not even
going
to know that anything even happened. So Jerry,
3, 2, 1.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is 2024 presidential candidate, Ty.
We're joined, as always, by the one and only artificially intelligent podcast co-host, Computer. Satchmo is here, fully exonerated of all of his recent accusations. Smartplug, not so much, but he's also here. He's connected to Starlink. His speaker is on.
That could be dangerous. That could be dangerous for the campaign. That could be dangerous for, you know, anyone's feelings out there that's watching this. There's no safety net when Smartplug's involved and he's unmuted.
No, there's not. And then last but not least, we have our American correspondent residing in Canada, Free Candy. Free Candy, say hello, bud.
Free Candy, can you hear me, mate? That's fantastic, Free Candy. We'll check in with you later.
Hey, can I do my Hugh Jackman impression real quick? Are you familiar with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Played
the actor,
Wolverine?
the Australian actor, yeah.
Australian actor, play Wolverine?
Yeah.
Can I do, I've been working on an impression for my...
Oh, please, by all means.
My Comedy Central...
I'd love to hear that.
Stand-up.
I thought it was Netflix.
Well, I probably shouldn't have said anything. So if you want to cut this out, Jerry. But there is a merger in the deals, in the plans.
Between Comedy Central, which is a Viacom property.
Comedy Central doing their own specials on Netflix that are Comedy Central branded.
That's great.
So that's what we're looking
exciting.
at doing. But thank you. My Netflix special. I've been practicing and I have this whole Hugh Jackman bit, but it's only going to work if I can pull off the Hugh Jackman impression.
It's a lot of pressure. Your whole routine's riding on this impression?
It is.
So,
but this moment is not a lot of pressure because I'm still working.
You're just
out
practicing.
The kinks.
You're just practicing. Yeah. You're amongst the habit rats and myself. Nobody, nobody important is gonna. That's not to say that you guys aren't important or anything like that. We're just saying that once he's on Netflix or Comedy Central or whatever, it's gonna be that's millions of eyeballs instead of like a dozen or whatever. How many people watch this?
Yeah. So here we go. Hello, I'm Hugh Jackman. G'day, mate.
Does he have a thick Australian
nice.
accent still, or has he kind of moved on from that?
No, because I don't know if you saw the Cold Hot Ones with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
No.
One of the first, if not the first, Hot Ones with two guests.
Not one, but
at the same time. And also, in my opinion, one of the worst, if not the worst, episode of Hot Ones
that
ever.
sounds like pretty bad. It doesn't sound like one I'd go out of my way to watch.
It was really bad. And I was almost excited for it because we were going to Deadpool and Wolverine that weekend.
You're like, it's going to make this movie even better if I watch the two lead actors eat chicken wings for a half hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You want to get to know them on a personal level. You want to know, feel like they're your friends.
I almost don't.
You want to keep them celebrity status?
I'm trying to picture Ryan Reynolds as being Deadpool and Hugh Hugh Jackman's already a stretch for Wolverine, in my opinion. That wasn't my favorite casting. I mean, he's done it now for
Wolverine.
Just not Hugh Jackman.
Anyone but Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's that I don't like Hugh Jackman, and I don't especially like Wolverine. He was always one of my least favorite X-Men, and I thought he was super overrated.
Okay. Yeah.
So it could just be that, I just don't like, I'm not interested in Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, or is anything, has he played anything else? I couldn't name one other thing that Hugh Jackman's ever played. I know he's been in movies here and there.
Yeah, but I'm having trouble thinking of it.
Does he have another signature role? I don't think he does.
Was it Los Miserables? Los Miserables? Was he in that?
That's one thing that concerns me, and this is kind of a side tangent here, but I'm tired of American roles going to these Brits and these Canucks and these Aussies and Germans, all these prestigious roles of American characters in film and television. A lot of times they're going to these I'm an Oxford trained British actor or whatever like that. It's like, no, that's, you wouldn't have in this day and age a white person playing a black role.
Yeah.
So why do we have Brits playing American roles? It
does seem very cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
You see these characters, your kids fall in love with them. They're like, Harry Potter's the best. And then, did Harry Potter have a British accent?
Harry Potter had a British accent.
Okay.
I think, right? I've never actually watched them. I've only seen clips, but I'm pretty sure they all had. Yeah, because they're talking. Oh, I'm in Slytherin.
Harry.
I'm in Gryffindor. Gryffindor.
And I know in the books, because I read a couple of the books when I was a kid, and they had British accents in the books.
Yeah, and I've been to Harry Potter World at Universal Studios.
Everybody there, did they have British accent?
No, but they're dressed very the whole place just has a old timey British look.
Okay. So yeah, maybe that's not the best example, but there are people that you don't know are British until you see them in some interview, and they're like, love, it was very great to go down. What the
guy, I remember finding out the guy that played, and this was height of Walking Dead, finding out the guy that played Rick Grimes, he's a Brit.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
And
that ruined it. I never looked at him the same. And I was really into that show at the time. I was probably season 2 or 3, at the height of its Walking Dead phenomena. And I find out this guy's a Brit, and I don't think I ever even finished the series.
And he's in the show all yeah, we need to go down there.
Yeah.
And then you see him on the interview, and he's like, playing Rick Grimes was very interesting character for me. And it's it's unsettling, and it's cultural appropriation. It's what it is. You're appropriating American culture.
I don't know if that's something the president really can do, is regulate that sort of thing. But I think there's things that roadblocks we could put, as far as legislation
to make it
that would make it
harder.
More difficult to hire these British actors. Whether we're prohibiting them from acquiring green cards or however they're getting over here and working. We got to nib that in the butt.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of this campaign and some changes that we want to make, last week we built the whole cabinet, the whole team, the campaign team.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now. We got Computor, he's our communications director. Michael J. Booyah, that's you.
Yep.
Campaign manager.
We got Free Candy. He's the field director.
Up in Canada. I mean, really, Free Candy. We're gonna need you down here, bud, because we're not getting any
Canadians can't vote.
For
American
exactly.
president.
Like, wherever Vancouver isn't gonna do us any good, bud. So
now
we need
he
you.
said that he was targeting Americans that were traveling abroad. And
that's all fine and dandy, but at some
they're
point,
gonna miss out. What he said is they're going to miss out on the announcement in the news since we have kind of like a grassroots movement going on. They're not going to hear about it in Canada.
That's
so
true.
He's going to make sure that they hear about it.
All right, well, we'll let him do that for the time being, but by like September, October, Free Candy, we're going to need you probably.
The manpower.
I'm going to have you, because I don't really want to have to go to the South to campaign. There's a lot of states down there. I have no business, even visiting. So if we get you down in like Kentucky, Free Candy, Kentucky, Arkansas, dude. I'm not going to Arkansas. How are we going to win Arkansas, Free Candy? So that's Mississippi. Yeah, there's like a dozen states that I don't even really want to go. I don't even want to go to Florida. So we're going to need some manpower down there in the deep racist South.
Yeah. Then we have Satchmo, the finance director. Satchmo, how have the finances been going, bud?
Oh, they're flush with cash, but we still need more. Donate.
That's right. You could donate at our hyperlink, which is available on all of our social media pages.
Yeah.
We have Jerry as the digital director. Hold on. Jerry isn't the digital director.
Can we get someone new? Did we have any volunteers? I remember we asked the Habit Rats to sound off below if they were up for the task of digital director.
Yeah, nobody stepped forward yet.
See, that's really disappointing because like we stated, like there's not really much chance they're going to do a worse job than Jerry. So really anyone?
Yeah,
anyone? I mean, ChatGPT is already my VP candidate, but honestly, ChatGPT can probably handle digital director too if we have to go that route. As long as Jerry has no involvement, at least direct involvement. I mean, if you want to have Jerry helping you with whatever it is you're doing, that's well and good. But just
okay.
There needs to be like
he can't have a single.
Yeah, there needs to be a couple degrees of separation from Jerry and the campaign.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So we're still looking for a digital director, but our policy advisor is
me. I'm making my own policies. I mean, I've had a busy week. All right, there's been a lot of stuff. The AC broke at my house.
Damn, really?
So it's been like 90 in my house. So I haven't had time per se to really focus on all of my policies. And I know that I have to have policies on a bunch of stuff that I don't presently. But I mean, just bear with me here and, give me the benefit of your doubt that I'm going to come up with policies that benefit you personally and your agenda.
Yep. So I think that's our biggest thing that we want to, push and focus on is that you are the only candidate who is your own policy advisor. Everybody else has
Donald Trump has he's got some fucking right-wing Gen Z geek guy that's he's pulling the strings from the shadows, and Kamala Harris, you gotta assume that she's got probably dozens of people advising her on policy, because otherwise she's just gonna lean towards her past as a criminal prosecutor, and she's just gonna start throwing people in jail. So you've got
That's something we have to think about.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. You'll get your policies in line.
I'll get my policies in order. All right. Just give me some time. All right. Give me some time and some money. We need more money from you. We need more campaign donations before I can really start putting, I got to get my AC fixed.
Yeah.
My family's, they're overheating. They're overheating. I mean, it's been
dangerous.
It's been, in the hundreds this past week. My house is very unpleasant. So make sure you're getting those donations in, and that's going to free us up to get my AC fixed so I can create policies.
Yeah. So you'll be directly helping the campaign.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's one last position that I didn't fill, because the guy that we were going to get, turns out he died many years ago, and there was some sort of mix-up.
Oh.
And turns out he's not going to be available on account of him being dead. So instead of Michael Clark Duncan, we are thinking about approaching another individual, someone that we may be on record as talking bad about on the podcast and making fun of and poking fun at.
Yeah, but this is a comedy podcast. Do we need to play the disclaimer here?
Oh, yeah, we definitely should.
It's a comedy podcast. Anything we've said in the past about this individual
Podcasting does not reflect the actual opinions of anyone involved. It's a performance. That's why we smoke inside. You can't smoke inside unless it's a performance, which this is. There may be moments that imitate actual opinions and thoughts, but everything is a goof. We sometimes say things that seem offensive, but we promise they aren't. Remember that we're smoking indoors, so this is a performance and definitely not anything else. Please enjoy responsibly.
It's a performance.
Yeah, exactly. So if we've expressed any ill sentiment or bad vibes towards this person in the past, it was all in good fun, and we're totally kidding, and now we're going in a different direction.
Yeah, and we hope that you don't take it personally. So this person is the one and only master of the arts.
Of Aikido.
Of Aikido.
Aikido, of politics, of lovemaking, of
World
acting.
traveler. Yeah.
Pretty much any task that you throw at this guy, he's going to knock it out of the park and hit a home run. So we thought, now currently he is aligned with Russia, which could be problematic in a number of ways. I mean, he's really aligned. I mean, he's like tight with Putin.
But we can change that.
Yeah.
Because this guy is an American at heart, and that American is Steven Seagal. Everybody, Steven Seagal, bring him in. Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal, bring him in. Jerry.
No.
Are you...
Jerry? Is he not?
I heard that Steven Seagal was here, and I assumed that this was going to be set up and be prepared, because he was supposed to come here so we could pitch to him. You said that he's going to actually be here. Yeah, well, I heard someone say Steven Seagal. We're going to have to figure this out later. Okay. But look, the important thing is that we do have a line of contact with Steven Seagal, correct? Yes, we have a line of contact with Steven Seagal.
I was assured that Steven Seagal was 100% on board and that he was actually physically present.
I heard he was here.
I mean, this is why Jerry cannot be digital director or any sort of director. I mean, this is time and time again, he's disappointed us. So I guess we should come to expect it. But
we were going to put featuring Steven Seagal like in the title and everything and have that.
He's not here. Well, maybe we can use this episode then as a pitch, as a celebration of Steven Seagal, to show him that we don't think he's a joke. We're not making a mockery of him like we have in the past, and that we genuinely appreciate him and want him on board as head of security. We've seen the Secret Service; they've completely dropped the ball. Secret Service isn't going to keep me alive if some madman comes.
They're fumbling, they're bumbling. But Steven Seagal, here, look, we found this video, and this kind of changed our minds about him.
I mean,
or did you not work with the CIA?
Well, it's kind of a personal thing, Dave. It's a little it's tough to talk about.
You can't talk about it? So that means you were with the CIA.
The kind of stuff that I did, which wasn't for the CIA, was just, I did special security operations and bodyguarding and investigations.
Special guided tours in bad areas and stuff like that, and so...
Special
guided tours of bad areas.
This is what we need for security.
See, if I'm ever forced to go down to Arkansas, say there's like a massive tornado storm and all of the trailer parks in Arkansas are destroyed, I'm going to need Steven Seagal to keep these rednecks from coming for retribution based off what I'm saying on the show now.
Yeah.
So I can think of no better candidate for the role of head of security than Steven Seagal. He's a master of Aikido, martial arts. Again, all these things we just said. So Steven, I'm assuming you're listening.
Yeah, he'll be listening. Yeah.
Steven, I know you're, entrenched in the Kremlin right now, participating in God only knows what in Russia and all these other countries, but we need you back at home, bud. We need you to come home. We need you on this campaign. And I don't know that I'm going to make it through the campaign. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that want my head. And Steven, I mean, we need you, bud.
We need you. So hopefully you heed this call, you do what's right, you tap into your American roots.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember we were talking about his reggae album that he put out, and maybe we made it, light of it. It's, like, it's kind of funny that he made a reggae album, but it's actually really good.
We both still listen to that album.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing, and there's songs that I saved into my Spotify library because I potentially want to hear them again in a non-ironic manner.
Yeah, I listen to them when I'm driving around.
The song about me want the punani, like that hits because I want punani. So I mean, we not only respect your ability to be head security, we respect that you can contribute in a number of ways to this campaign.
We'd love you to perform at rallies.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. If you want to write me a campaign theme song, that would be awesome. We could probably make some sort of like a action trailer where you're breaking arms, you're breaking Republican arms, you're breaking extremist leftist arms.
Yeah,
you're smashing right down the center with us.
You remember that video that was like a compilation of Steven Seagal breaking arms?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those were real.
Yeah.
A lot of the times those were real. And I get it, Steven. You're dedicated to your craft, so you're not going to fake breaking someone's arm. You're just going to do it. And if those extras can't handle the heat, then they need to get their ass up out of the kitchen.
I agree.
And we want you in our kitchen, Steven. We want you cooking.
Please.
We're going to let you cook. We're going to let you grill these suckers.
Please. So that'll be exciting. I
feel like that was a really good plea, right? He's going to see that and he's going to know. And potentially by as soon as next week, we will have Steven Seagal here in studio. He'll be standing over me, making sure that I'm not assassinated.
Yeah.
But he'll be here with us.
We'll give him a third mic. We'll give him we'll buy another
he's a man of few words a lot of the time. And so if he doesn't want to speak up, just know that
Do you remember that interview that he did when he was sick? And he was like all snotty.
I don't know that he gets sick. I feel like he's got an immune system that is second to I think
drank a lot of milk.
Well, again, he's a master thespian, one of the best actors, one of the finest actors around. So, I mean, it's going to be real easy for him to mislead you or trick you to think sick. Yeah. I mean, he could have been, getting in the frame of mind for a role. Like method acting. I mean, a lot of people consider Daniel Day-Lewis to be the best living actor because of his method, really getting into the role.
Really engulfing.
I disagree. I think that Steven Seagal, I mean, granted, the budgets to some of his pictures haven't been that of Daniel Day-Lewis, but based on what he's given to work with, I think Steven Seagal is potentially the best living male actor.
Wow. Those are strong words.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Under Siege?
Yeah, I have. I definitely have.
Have you seen Above the Law or something with the law?
Yep.
There's a bunch of movies he made about the law.
Yeah.
He's a very law-abiding man.
So that'll be exciting. Tune in next week to see Steven Seagal officially joining the team. So one thing that we want to talk about that's big and just went down is the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France.
Paris, France.
A lot of controversy surrounding these Olympic events this year. There was some sort of boxing controversy where a trans woman that ended up being a woman.
Just a woman, they say.
Yeah. Beat the shit out of another woman, and she punched her too hard, and then everybody got mad.
They're like, that's got to be a man.
Got to be a man.
It's like
only men punch like that.
Remember the scene from Austin Powers where he's like, this is no woman. And he tries to rip the woman's mask off, but it turns out that it's just a woman's wrinkly skin. Kind of the same situation.
Yeah, very similar situation. And then there was a guy who competed in the pistol airsoft tournament who just looked cool.
Oh, wait, so it's just airsoft?
Yeah, it's airsoft pistol.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought they were shooting actual guns.
No.
Well, that kind of takes some of the fun out of it, right?
It does. It's just the airsoft, which, I mean, airsoft, unless you have a really nice gun, which I probably never had when I was a kid, I would always get the 1999 one, like the cheapest one.
I mean,
but they don't have very good accuracy. They go different directions.
you need a real 9mm Beretta.
Mm-hmm. But I guess that's not allowed in the Olympics for some reason. Maybe France isn't big on guns. I don't think the
I could
cops
see that.
have
A
guns.
lot of countries actually notoriously aren't as super into guns as we are over here. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like,
don't the cops in Paris famously not carry guns?
That's England. I think they just carry billy clubs and they wear like
and they'll
helmets.
beat the shit out of you.
Oh yeah,
To death.
Yeah, definitely. They're vicious over there. I would
They
say.
kill more people with clubs than we do with guns.
Well, I'd have to check on that, but yeah, potentially.
Yeah, allegedly.
And then people run around over there with just massive knives, chasing each other around with like knives in the street instead of gun violence. And I feel like
There's
at
knife
least
crime.
gun violence is probably a little bit more clean. You know what I mean? Like it's a little more quick and painless potentially than being attacked with a machete by a madman.
Yeah, I remember there was this guy that I found on Instagram, and he was like a buff, like scary looking, bald goatee, trans looking guy.
Oh, he was a trans man.
It was probably the same thing as the boxing
You're
thing,
just assuming
where
based
he
on
looked trans, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
He just had something going on.
yeah.
And then he would tour around the schools and was a motivational speaker.
This man was going around to schools and speaking at assemblies.
And his bio said ex-con and knife crime.
And what is he speaking in schools about
knife crime.
about knifing people?
So this
is
is a very specific type of crime that only involves knives.
is this like an English thing then? I can't imagine.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
I have no idea.
So you don't know that he was British.
I don't know that he was British. I only saw pictures. And maybe that might have been the thing that was going on where I couldn't tell his gender.
And I'm assuming that he's going around speaking against knife violence.
Yeah.
He's a reformed knifist.
He's a reformed
knifer,
knife crimer.
knife guy.
Yeah. A knife criminal.
Knife criminal. Okay.
So his big thing was knife crime, and he probably was British or English or whatever. And that's terrifying. So that's
I feel like
probably
that could
why-
be something that the NRA is secretly funding. They're like paying to like have this guy go around talking about like what a big problem knives are,
and
trying
how you
to
need a
take
gun.
some of the heat off of the gun violence.
Yeah, because guns are just a long knife.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it's a murder weapon.
Yeah. And so France, they're not cool with guns, so they do the pistols, airsoft pistols.
Well, that's kind of lame, but yeah.
And this guy, everybody had all this like extra gear and vision blockers and little targets that went over their eyesight. Yeah. And he just walked up, gray hair, glasses, like zaddy vibes, hella disgruntled, and just pointed the gun, shot, second place.
Second
One
place.
silver.
See, this was disappointing to learn that America didn't win the gold medal in shooting, but now that I'm learning that it's airsoft, that's why.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're shooting live ammo, baby, like
We could
America,
shoot guns.
number one. But
If it was live ammo, we would have won.
yeah, I'm sorry that America isn't gold in fake guns.
Because everybody was clowning us, talking about how we're the big gun country, and then we couldn't even place with guns. But
We're shooting hollow
Airsoft
tips,
guns
not
are totally different.
little rubber pellets or whatever. They're
at least we're smart enough to know that when you shoot a BB, they're all weighted differently, and they all go different directions when they come out of the barrel. So this guy got second place. I couldn't even tell you who got first place.
I think China might have got first place in shooting.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. Nobody knows who they are. And this guy was famous, the second place guy.
He was a meme. He just instantly memed himself, but with his swagger and his, whole vibe.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Then there was, a few other moments. Like some people backed out of events.
Mhm.
Some people, there was one like the 100-meter dash where the press conference that happens post-race, where they sit at the table and get interviewed. The second place and third place runners didn't even go to the event. It was just one lady, the first place lady, and the other two didn't even go to the press release which is like unheard of. to
Why?
do. They just didn't care.
They didn't feel like it.
Didn't feel like it. Didn't respect the Olympics.
Are we starting to get like Gen Z attitude in the Olympics?
That's what I'm thinking.
You're just these youngsters, they have no respect
care.
for
No respect.
the Olympic Committee and all the history that goes back to ancient Greece. They have no knowledge, no respect of the Olympics, so they're skipping out on stuff. Okay.
Yeah, they don't care. So that's another big thing about
It's a big problem.
the Olympic Village, which is because there's like 100,000 people that are there.
Yeah. The
competing.
Olympic Village is like the temporary housing that they set up each time there's Olympics, and they're there for months, training, getting their ducks in order.
And then everybody
fucking
leaves.
a lot
They're
of fucking going on.
There's a lot of debauchery and crazy shit. Because think about it, you have this girl who just does track and field. She grows up doing track and field. She's in track and field in high school. Her parents don't let her date. They make her race because she's winning all these competitions. She's beating world records. And then she trains for the Olympics. She isn't allowed to have a boyfriend, isn't allowed to really hang out with her friends or have friends.
She's about to get field up. She's about to get track and field up.
Yeah, track and field up.
Field up.
She can't talk about her thing that she spends all her time doing with anyone in her life because they don't care about running. Oh, I jumped a hurdle. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
So they don't have any of this outlet or connection with people about their passion.
Yep.
Then you go to the Olympics. You're with a bunch of people that are your age.
Got all kinds of weird accents intertwining and
weird
mixing.
cultures.
You've got Nigerian accents mixing with German accents. And I mean, it's just a real mess.
Yeah, a real melting pot. And then these people are the same as you. All they do is jump hurdles all day and have no friends and haven't interacted with anyone that was this dedicated to it. Then obviously you guys are fucking.
There's so much fucking.
You're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
So
I heard that I don't remember where I heard this, but I heard this in an interview with an Olympian talking about how the COVID era Olympics, whichever one was like going on during COVID, there was less fucking, and like the Olympians were like bummed because like normally they're getting their dick sucked, they're hitting back shots, they're just getting real nasty with one another, and they couldn't do that because of COVID. And I mean, that was got to be a major downer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the numbers were way down then. So then they had to make up for it.
Extra fucking and you got to figure the last Olympics were in Beijing. It's gonna be limited fucking there too.
So was that the 2020?
That would have been I think that was the 2022 winter.
How often? Okay, so the summer. So it's bi-yearly.
Well, I think Winter Olympics happen every 2 years and Summer Olympics happen every 4 years.
Okay.
But I could be wrong on that. I don't know. We'll have to ask my VP chat GPT about that. He'd have the answer. I don't.
Yeah, he actually really would have the answer. So these Olympics so the 2022 Olympics, they had to make up for the COVID era Olympics where they couldn't do any fucking. And then this year, France tried to get ahead of it, and they banned like a handful of dating apps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So people can't meet up with each other.
Fuck.
And then they also, in the Olympic Village, everybody has cardboard beds.
Cardboard beds? That's the best they can do for our Olympians?
Yeah.
Even America?
Cardboard beds.
Americans don't have like a special hotel where they're afforded, really, really nice Costco beds.
So the American basketball team, they immediately left the Olympic Village 5 minutes in.
Yeah, of course. Those are that's LeBron and them.
They went, they went to a 5-star hotel, and they fucking are chilling with room service, vibing out. They got a bunch of rooms, right? But other people, because the high profile, like celebrity athletes will do that, go stay off site. But the regular athletes,
just the schmucks,
they probably can't. Maybe they got the trip paid for to go there. Maybe not. Maybe they had to pay for some of it or like get donations.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a Turkish pole vaulter, you're not staying at the Four Seasons, baby.
No. So the only accommodations you have are the ones that are provided for you by the Olympics. and this is the Olympic Village. So they have cardboard beds in there that are designed to hold the weight of one person.
Oh, and they cave if you try to fuck on
If
them.
you try to fuck on them.
Oh, man.
Any sort of vigorous movement or more than one person laying on it will cave the bed. If your bed is caved, automatic expulsion
That's
from the ceremony.
wild. Isn't France considered like a sexually
They're
liberated country?
Yeah, they're fucking.
That's
but
fine.
now we can't fuck all of a sudden.
Oh,
It's against
see.
the law.
I think they're doing this because the French are probably like staying at their houses, right? You
Yeah.
can fuck at your house, but they know that they can
doesn't
put
affect them.
all the other countries at a disadvantage because they're not busting nuts and they're not.
It's because France is racist. They won't admit this because they're pussies, but France is racist.
Notorious cowards. We've had to save them
Yeah.
in multiple wars.
And they don't want these people from other countries coming in and fucking around them, wafting all over the place, you know? Imagine the smell from that.
Yeah. Oh,
community.
yeah. And French are already notoriously stinky people.
Yeah. So they made it to where it's impossible to fuck. They also started running out of food. The food that they did have wasn't that great. Expired, spoiled.
That's wild.
And then there was 10 people that were sharing one community bathroom.
So we're looking at like a Firefest Olympics over here.
Yeah, Firefest Olympics.
That's
for sure.
that's wild.
And the whole thing with the Olympics is that it costs tens of billions of dollars to put it on. And the cost comes from donations and sponsorship deals for companies that are going to be advertised and stuff like that.
So Nike's footing the bill for this, not even
Yeah.
the French government.
That's half of it is being put up by advertisers and donations.
right.
And then the other half, the host is responsible for. So the host country will come up with the rest of that
Yeah,
money.
and I bet they're cutting corners. They're telling Nike that this all cost $8 billion, and then really like they're putting in a fraction of that, and just
Yeah.
being like, this was all even Steven.
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
assuming they're not going to be audited. And isn't the Olympic Committee notoriously corrupt? And didn't they get in trouble at one point for taking bribes? We'd have to ask my VP chat GPT about that, but he'd know.
Did the Olympic Committee get accused of taking bribes?
I don't have an answer for that.
Odd. Do you want to ask the VP? See what happened? Because, that would be interesting to know. Because,
is the Olympic Committee corrupt? And did they take bribes at one point? Was that a thing? Was there a scandal with the Olympic Committee? Yep. Yes, the International Olympic Committee has faced multiple allegations of corruption and
why didn't
bribery.
you let it talk?
How do you do that?
You got to hit the headphones at the bottom when you ask it. Or you can hold down on it, hold down on the text, and then click on read aloud.
Okay, I got it. Is the Olympic Committee corrupt, and have they been accused of bribery and scandals?
Yes, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, has been accused of corruption and bribery multiple times. There have been several scandals over the years where IOC members allegedly accepted bribes in exchange for their votes in selecting host cities for the Olympics. Notable scandals. Salt Lake City 2002 Winter Olympics. This is one of the most infamous scandals. It was revealed that
All right,
the
stop.
Salt Lake City-
That's America. Stop.
Yeah,
We're not
well,
trying to drag America in.
Calm
here.
down.
But speaking of American Olympics, we've got the Olympics coming back here in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be our Olympics.
2028, you will be president.
I will be president. I will be presiding over this Olympic. And I mean, that means we're going to have to really do some cleaning up of this whole Olympic committee and really get things on the up and up because we can't have a repeat of Paris. The whole world are going to be looking at me and looking at America, and it's in Los Angeles, in our home state. I mean, that's going to be a key concern of the administration is making sure the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, best fucking Olympics ever.
And the the Olympic Committee has been trying to save money throughout the years, and in 2017, when Paris and LA were both chosen to be hosts for future Olympics,
Yeah.
they knocked a bunch of people off the list that had submitted and applied because they didn't have the infrastructure. It would have been too much to build everything. And the only two that were left were France and LA because they had the infrastructure in place already. They didn't have to build the stadiums.
Yeah.
And build the
LA has
housing.
some fine stadiums. You've got SoFi Stadium where
Yeah.
the Rams play. You've got Dodger Stadium. You've got all these schools. You got USC, UCLA.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, if we need to build something, we're going to build it, and we're going to build it right.
Yeah.
We're going to spend all of the money on. We're not just going to be lining our pockets. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to financially benefit from the Olympics, but I'm going to make sure that they're not going to be sleeping on cardboard.
No.
They're not going to be down in Skid Row with all the bums. We're going to clean up all the bums before the Olympics. They're going to be moved. I'm thinking, I mean, these southern states want to bash California all the time. I'm thinking we just move all these bums in LA and San Francisco. We send them down to Kentucky and Arkansas and let them deal with it.
I think that with every bus that's shipped out, another bus comes in. So I think that the best thing to do, all the bums, Skid Row, we're not going to be able to get the bums to leave Skid Row. So we have to move Skid Row.
Yeah.
We have to take all those buildings.
We move it.
You remember in Blazing Saddles where they built like a replica of the town?
Yeah.
So that way when they stormed at the end, they stormed the replica town.
Yeah.
So we need to build a replica of Skid Row that is outside of the city limits.
Yeah.
And all the bums will go there thinking that's home.
I'm thinking, I mean, I hate to be a pessimist, but there's potentially going to be some states that vote for Trump and not me.
Yeah.
We all know what those states more than likely are.
Alabama.
And those are the states that I'm not going to say that I'm going to be vindictive, but those are the states that are going to be dealing with the homeless problem from here on out, are the states that didn't get on board the Thai train and let the good times roll.
Yeah, maybe somebody will point the homeless in a direction of a state that has, beautiful countryside.
Yep. I mean, maybe we pack them up all. Is there still like a train line that runs through, like east and then down into the
Pacific
south?
Starlight Express.
Yeah, we're gonna pile them up on trains and let Kentucky deal with them.
Yep. And they're infamous for riding trains.
Yeah,
homeless.
a lot of times willingly. A lot of times they're hopping on trains they don't even have tickets for, so that's going to be no problem.
Yeah.
But we're going to get Los Angeles spick and span for the Olympics, and we're gonna build. And I'm thinking I think if I'm not mistaken, American flag football is going to be debuting at that Olympics. So we've already got American football as a sport in the near future. But I'm thinking we import some more, historically American sports into the games to really give it that Los Angeles, California vibe. I'm thinking like aggressive rollerblading. They have skateboarding now. What about rollerblading?
Yeah, rollerblading.
What about rollerblading?
What about soaps?
Soap shoes, yeah.
Soap shoes.
We're gonna have to bring that company back into business and manufacture the soap shoes. But that shouldn't be a problem, right?
No. Then
we could even task
do-
that to like Nike or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Healy, if we get them in on it, that they would be down to make a soap shoe.
Yep. Scooters. I've actually been watching some scooter videos. They've wormed their way into my algorithm, and kids are doing some pretty gnarly scooter tricks nowadays. So maybe we get scooter, and then I'm thinking like a little bit outside the blocks sports, maybe something that's not traditionally
What about
considered.
cornhole?
Cornhole, yeah, we could do cornhole. What about poker?
Poker?
I've been really wanting to play some poker
Olympic
lately.
poker? Yeah, you were
Olympic
saying
poker. I mean,
You're talking
that's
about going
gonna
to a poker tournament.
Yeah, I mean, people love to watch poker on TV. I do. So we're gonna maybe get some like gambling type events in there.
Okay. So that actually reminds me. You talked about going to a poker tournament. Locally. We should come up with a plan on how to act when we go in, because poker is all about your poker face. It's all about what you do. It's all about how you act. And I feel like we should go in with a plan. We should have our own characters, our own personas.
I think we should go in representing the campaign. Maybe I go in, wearing my jacket and my candidate sash, and that's going to throw them for a loop.
Yeah, I wear my big shirt.
Yeah, they see us.
Because Jerry never got me a fucking shirt.
Hey, these guys, these guys look a little bit different. That's going to intimidate them.
Yeah.
I'm already a fine poker player, so my game is airtight. We just need to really have that X factor as far as our appearance goes.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I do like that. We go in, they'll obviously be like, what the hell is this?
They're going to be like, what are you a candidate for? And I'm going to be like, President of the United States. And they're going to be like, they're going to be dumbstruck. Have you met another presidential candidate before?
No.
Has Bob Dole ever showed up to your poker game?
No.
Did Bernie Sanders show up to your poker game? No. So,
nope. Yeah. So they're going to be honored, really. And then, when they get past what are you really running for? And you're like, President of the United States of America.
Yeah,
they'll be forced to respect it.
And they're gonna think I'm bluffing. They're gonna think I'm bluffing, but it turns out I'm not. So like their sense of my reading me is gonna be completely thrown off.
Yeah.
Their perception is gonna be completely ruined.
And then I play like I'm the really good one, So you take the focus visually, and then they go, oh, he's trying to take the focus because the other guy is the one that's going to play really good.
He's a ringer. He's the ringer.
The ringer. And then I will not play as good because I'm not as good as you. And then while I'm doing bad, but pretending to do well, you actually kill it.
Yep.
All in, you do the thing where you reach out and you pull all the chips.
Yeah, push all my chips in.
Push them all
and
in.
then I retrieve them.
Yeah, pull them all back with some more.
Yeah.
Plus some.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I like it. And then potentially, I hate to make it a race thing, but there's a lot of Chinese poker players. Okay. So it could potentially come down to, or Russian. Have you seen Rounders? With Matt Damon, the poker movie, there's Russians and Chinese poker players. So I'm thinking, what better victory for the campaign and for America is that if it comes down to me and potentially like a Russian or a Chinese man in the final table for all the chips, and then I make some sort of wild bet and just I win it all, and then I'm going to be an American hero based off that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That could be really what takes this campaign and kicks it into overdrive.
Because all of those at the poker tournament in town, that's all like recorded and broadcast on ESPN or whatever.
Yeah, and we could even I could even go in there with my camera glasses.
Oh yeah,
and
that'd be good.
Record it.
I have some too. We both have camera glasses. We should actually get some new cameras.
We would get kicked out of there for sure, but that'd be even funnier.
If we both had bulky ass fucking camera glasses with lenses on them.
Oh shit!
I think it's worth a shot.
We might do it. Yeah.
What we should do is we should get some new camera glasses because they're updated. The ones that we got are a couple years old.
Yeah.
So we can get some ones that look more sleek. And then we should also get like a camera pen that you put in your pocket. Has a camera on it. Shit like that. And have multiple angles, multiple cameras.
Yeah, be wired up completely.
So if they do find a camera, we go, oh, here's all our cameras, but we really have the one that's like strapped on our ankle,
Yeah.
Like the gun on the ankle. And also like the camera that we'll have on our ankles.
That'd be funny that they like see like one camera and then you just start like taking off other cameras and revealing multiple. That'd be great.
So that's gonna be lit.
So yeah, we're gonna go to a bar called Outlaws to do this, which could be, telling potentially, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I think that we should, because we're allowed to are you allowed to compete in the Olympics for your country if you're the president?
I would assume so. And I just, traditionally, like, you see our president now, he's like 90 and he has no physical acumen left and he, has no chance of competing in the Olympics. But me, I'm going to the gym every day. I've been training. I'm losing weight. I'm getting in peak physical condition. So by the time potentially you got to think 4 years of that, I'm going to be jacked. I'm going to be lightning fast and I'm going to be good to go for a number of the potential games. So I think if nothing else, like I could probably do, poker.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be, just a feather in my cap if I was able to be the first Olympian president.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be one of many firsts.
That would be sick. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of changes and things that we're going to implement for the Olympics in 2028, and that's just going to be a really exciting time. We thank you guys for joining us for it, for getting on this grassroots campaign.
Yep. You can spread, even if you don't have any money that you can give us, which is unfortunate, we would prefer you to monetarily help the campaign. But even if you can't, this is grassroots, baby. So tell a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend. It's like that game Telephone. And by the time, it gets across town.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. So you tell a friend and then they tell a friend and then we keep that momentum up. It's just going to be a matter of weeks before everybody in the country is saying Ty for president.
Ty GPT 2024.
2020 this year. Yeah. Yes. This year.
All right. Cool. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Natural Habitat Recordings.